Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of the Between the Numbers podcast. We now know who the top two teams in the NFL are. Here we have the Atlanta Falcons representing the NFC and the New England Patriots representing the AFC, heading up into the Super Bowl in just over a week now.
12 days.
Yeah, 12 days. There you go. There's a countdown on like any website which you want to go check if you really need the countdown. But it's on the 5th. Well, it's on the 5th is it on the 5th for us? I can't
It
remember.
starts on the 5th. We have
Yeah,
half an hour of the
we have
5th.
half. Yeah, we have half an hour, and I love
Yeah.
it. Anyway, so as the Super Bowl's in 12 days, we're just on this episode. This one, we're not going to preview it. We're going to leave that till next week, and then hopefully get some really good like stuff from people in the press conferences. But that never really happens.
I have
Um,
zero expectations this year, seeing as one of the teams is the Patriots and the other team is the Falcons, and the Falcons have no one on that team who screams, I'm going to say something controversial.
yeah, it's so true, and like neither do the Patriots. I mean, I don't think that's a thing. I mean, yeah, I don't. Anyway, so we're going to go over the championship games from this weekend, from the past weekend. I mean, we'll just get right into it for the NFC ones. We had the Green Bay Packers coming up against the Atlanta Falcons, in a game which I'm pretty sure I picked the Packers, and they totally screwed it up.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Falcons won 44-21, with the Packers only scoring their points in the third and fourth quarter.
They got shut out in the first two quarters. It
Yeah,
was
in the
embarrassing.
first half, like wow. Yeah, pretty embarrassing. And like I remember like just watching the game and then watching the Falcons go up by like more than four, and I was like, yeah, I mean like if it wasn't already over by this point, 100% now.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the first half more closely than the second half, and at the end of the first half, listening to like what a lot of the guys saying at halftime, I was expecting this Aaron Rodgers comeback, and I
Mm.
kind of at that point I was like, yeah, no, that's not happening. The Falcons, they looked so unstoppable, and their defense was sneaky, really, really good.
Mm.
They got some really important stops, especially at the start of the game. Um, they played really well. I wasn't expecting that. I thought Vic Beasley had a really good game. I was super
Yeah,
impressed
their
with
their pass rush was much better than I thought it would be throughout the entire game. And I mean, I obviously we talked about players like Vic Beasley who's coming in, but I thought it was just I was really surprised. I didn't expect it, and I would thought that with the Packers' offensive line, as how good how it's a very stellar one. But man, did the Packers have a lot of injuries um, on that game? Like I think it was like two, three of their offensive linemen went down
that. Yeah.
at certain points in the game. I mean, obviously, like this is not an excuse,
Apparently,
but
Jordy Nelson was playing through significant pain throughout the entire game. So I'm gonna say fair play to Jordy Nelson that he still played, and he did have a reasonably good game. But yeah, I mean, I think this wasn't a case of I don't think the Packers completely crumbled, but I think they were just outmuscled by. I mean, I think we can start putting the Falcons in maybe like one of the top 10 offenses we've ever seen. Um, like the way that they spread the ball around and use every single receiver
hmm
is so impressive that there's no you shut down Julio Jones and you win the game. Is you have to shut down like six different guys plus the run game,
yeah, obviously,
and
I mean,
then
you got like Mohamed Snu's probably one of the as we've seen him in Cincinnati in the past. He has been one of the best like number two receivers out there. And if you have him lining up on like on the other side of the field and Julio Jones, if you're double teaming one, you can't really let the other one's just gonna be
yeah,
open probably. Like
yeah,
that's
it's amazing. And Matt Ryan's passing has been so ridiculously accurate as well.
mhm.
That it's it's good. I mean, yeah, as much as I really wanted the Packers to win because I really bought into that whole Aaron Rodgers is going to run the
Yeah.
table.
I
I was
I
ex
I just really wanted a Brady Rogers Super Bowl. I mean, that
Yeah,
would be if people like how much that conversation is in which one's better. You could have we maybe could have seen this, but the Falcons just outplayed them. I mean, Matt Right, yeah, you threw for 392 yards and four touchdowns, no interceptions. So like very reliable there. I mean, Julio Jones, what a game he had! crazy game. 180 yards, 2 touchdowns on 9 receptions. I don't know
Yeah,
what it is like that. They were talking the whole time about Kyle Shanahan and his offense, the way he runs it, and I was like, wow, that's a pretty damn good offense. Like
yeah,
the Packers had no response on defense. It was like every time that the Falcons had a drive, they wouldn't be stopped. They would at least score. It would be at least a field goal, if not a touchdown,
yeah.
on the end of it.
They're like, I think they had like one punt in the second half at some point, but then pretty much every time they went down the field, they got some kind of point at some point, which was so impressive to watch. But I mean, yeah, we can be disappointed that we haven't got the Aaron Rodgers v Tom Brady Super Bowl,
Mm.
but we do have in terms of passing yards, passer rating, no, not passing yards, but passer rating, and just level of play over the whole season. Probably the two best quarterbacks this season.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is definitely gonna be. I think for me, it's that, and like I mean, for me, this is gonna be one of the games where it's, um, you have a quarterback with like weapons, with who are like you know who the weapon like Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu and Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. You got like stacked Atlanta Falcons like offense. Like they have so many playmakers on there. And then you have it up against like Tom Brady and how he like lifts the game of everyone.
Yeah,
Um, I think it's gonna be. Yeah, I think it's. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be like such like an offensive battle, and it's gonna be for one of them like first times in a while. I think that it's not gonna be a defense wins the championship kind of thing. I think it's more gonna be kind of a shootout. Sure that like people will say that like there'll be like maybe a one interception thrown late game, and that'll
yeah.
be like, oh yeah, defense wins championships because of this one interception which did it. But like it's all about the offense. Like for the Falcons at least, and like, definitely for the Patriots, it's all about their offense.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be about the offenses in this game. I mean, just on the Packers briefly. I mean, do you think as generally like looking back over the last couple of seasons for the Packers, do you think you should kind of feel disappointed that Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy have underperformed, considering you have one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and you still only have one Super Bowl appearance and one Super Bowl ring to show for it? That they keep getting to the later stages of the seasons and falling short. Do you think this? Do you think we could see some changes in Green Bay coming in the off season?
I mean, I wouldn't. No, obviously not with Aaron Rodgers and with Mike McCarthy as their coach. I mean, they always do get to the playoffs, and they're always about they're always at least making a divisional round, if not further. But yeah, like you would have thought with people who say Aaron Rodgers is like the greatest quarterback of all time, that to have that stat, you kind of need more than one Super Bowl. Like
Yeah,
you have some people people would nowhere near consider them to be like the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but they definitely they have more than one. And Rodgers is still just sitting on that one thing until he gets like to the next level and like wins a one, if like, another one. I don't think I don't think you can really like talk in the same level as other quarterbacks, because after all, like it's about like the player. Like you can be the best, I don't know, like defensive lineman ever.
yeah,
If you're not winning Super Bowls, and it's what the players want anyway. No one plays to be the best. You play to win the Super Bowl.
yeah. You play because you want that winning. You want the ticker tape to fall down on you. And yeah, I mean that's it. I think if we do see a change in Green Bay, I think they've got to get rid of defensive coordinator Don Capers.
Mm.
I think he's been there for like 2 seasons now, and that defense has just consistently let them down. And I think
It is a young defense, sure, but it should be playing better than it is,
yeah,
because if they're wanting to push further, no way you can let up 44 points in a championship game.
they have a really young secondary that hasn't lived up to any expectations.
Hmm.
I mean, they've got a couple talent. I mean, Clay Matthews seems like a shadow of the player that he was 2 seasons ago.
Mm.
Julius Peppers is getting old. So I think if they're gonna, Aaron Rodgers is talking about reloading in the off season. I think they definitely need to reload on defense.
Yeah, there's a fair few holes. Yeah, the secondary is young. I think they're really hoping it to make a step each year. But obviously it hasn't happened in the past. last couple of years. But I mean, you obviously have like them defensive players in the backfield, like Clinton Dix and Mike Hyde. I mean, you're like that, and Morgan Burnett. They got a pretty decent second, but it just doesn't like the defense just doesn't play as well as it should do.
Yeah.
And it's not a defense which can take you to a championship.
No, I mean the only reason they got to that NFC Championship game is their quarterback.
I mean, like there's a lot of like teams who get there because of their quarterback, but like most of them have like a better defense than the Packers showed they had. I mean, about a number of teams that are in the playoffs this year all had like very decent defenses, but the ones who are just like super reliant on offense, who didn't have a capable defense, they fell short. I mean, we'll talk about the Steelers in a second, but in a moment. But I think that's another area where maybe that defense wasn't up to scratch.
You just got to look at the Falcons. Like when they came into the playoffs, I was saying that I think something that could maybe let them down would be that their defense hasn't played at quite a high level this year. It's been quite below par for a playoff team. But they've come into the playoff and their defense has played so well. And I think that's definitely what the Packers are missing. That you can't just rely on one side of the ball. You have to be able to at least just match the other team on the other side of the ball, not outclass them. Just give your talented players in your team a chance, not lose the game.
Definitely. I mean, that was something definitely beforehand because with the Falcons, when them coming in, like it was more kind of like everyone knows their offense is great, and obviously they put up 44 points, but. I mean, holding Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to 21, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I mean, if you know that you can outscore them, which obviously they know they can, and the Falcons are the team who outscore like anyone. I don't think there's a team with such like offensive explosiveness like them, simply because Julio Jones. And like this, I really like saying this because at the end of the weekend, you kind of saw Julio Jones being the big man the grown man that he is, just taking apart that secondary. I mean, there was that one touchdown play where he what was that slant route, the one where he ran for like 70 plus yards, where he catches it on a slant across the field, like shrugs off the first defender, and then just like stiff arms the guy, the safety coming in for the tackle, and then off he goes, and it looked a little bit too easy.
Yeah,
but that's just him.
I think that's just how good this Falcons offense is. That like it just looks like a training routine the whole time. That it's so incredible to watch it. But yeah, should we move on to?
Yeah, sure. So let's move on to
the big game of the weekend. the one that everyone was waiting for. At Gillette Stadium, the New England Patriots beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 36-17 to go to their seventh the seventh Super Bowl in the Brady Belichick era. It was like the first game. It was a fairly one-sided game. The Patriots, it never really ever looked like they were going to lose this game. Even when the Steelers kind of came back a bit every now and then.
Yeah, in the second quarter when the Steelers like picked, they managed to get it going, and you're kind of like that. They were a point where they were like 10 points off, and that's just a score and a field goal, so it wasn't really like that much out of reach at all, which I quite like because it's such a contrast to the other game where, I mean, in the other game it was just like a blowout in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was reasonably close, but I thought that I never felt worried that the Steelers were suddenly going to turn it on. They were just, I thought what the Patriots did so well in this game is they allowed the Steelers to play on offense. They didn't just kind of try and suffocate them. But what they took away from the Steelers was those big plays, was those 30-yard passes to Antonio Brown, those runs from either DeAndre Williams or Le'Veon Bell that go for like 20 yards. They took those plays away. And they just kind of left them with short yardage and short runs as well. And I think that really hindered how the Steelers offense can play because they rely on those big plays to break down the defense. And I thought they did that really well. And I think a big turning point in this game was towards the end of the first half when the Steelers were pretty much on the 1 yard line and couldn't punch the ball in and couldn't get a touchdown.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, if you can't
Yeah.
push it in at the one in these that's the one that every team practices the whole time. Goal line, defense, and offense. That every team's going. And obviously, the Patriots defense came out on top there, but the Steelers, it just, I don't know. I thought maybe it was just because, I mean, obviously losing Le'Veon Bell as they did, obviously doesn't help your game plan because he's such a pivotal piece of it. But you still can't punch it in at the one. It's not going to go well for you. I don't think.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the biggest downsides for the Steelers in this game, I don't think you can put much of this on the players. I thought the players were just outmatched and outmuscled by a well coached and well drilled team. I think I'm going to look if I'm a Steelers fan, I'm going to look for blame on the coach Mike Tomlin. I thought he did a poor job of adapting his game. That he even said this after the game that he thought that they could win it playing their usual game. He thought that they were good enough on defense and offense to play against the Patriots. And that's not going to work. Their defense isn't set up to beat a team like the Pets, to beat Tom Brady, because they've never done it. I think Mike Tomlin's never beaten Tom Brady because he refuses to put pass rush and pressure on Brady. And if you don't put pressure on Brady, he's just going to tear you apart. And they kept spreading out the receivers and allowing guys like Chris Hogan and Julian Edelman to get so much space. And it looked far too easy. And then on offense, they kind of failed to adapt their gameplay when Le'Veon Bell came out. Like watching DeAndre Williams, he's usually like a power runner who just like pushes through and just runs as fast as he can and tries to break through tackles, as opposed to Le'Veon Bell, who's more patient. He waits to see when the opening comes. And DeAngelo Williams kept trying to do that, and he kept getting knocked back to using yardage. And I think that they were just trying to plug him in and trying to make him be Le'Veon Bell, but it didn't work. And I think Mike Tomlin's going to have a hard look at himself, because this keeps happening for the Steelers. They keep being eluded by the Patriots.
Yeah, and I think one of the main issues with this was really that the Steelers secondary isn't as good as many other teams, and like if you're playing against Tom Brady, he picks apart secondary so easily because like he reads the game so well, and he's able to adjust everyone and like change the call, audible at the line of scrimmage, and then pick up a first down. And there was one play which came to mind where it was like I think there was 5 seconds. There was like something like 6 seconds left on the plate on the timing for the play clock. And Tom Brady audibles out of something. They spread it out wide with 1 second off. They get the snap, and then he picks up a first down. It was like I think it was like second and 8 or something, and they pick up a first down like that. It was just like so easy because Tom Brady had seen what the defense is coming out in, and the defense didn't change at all. They just kind of like let him dissect them really, because he was like, right, I know if I throw it there, no one's going to be there, and that's what Tom Brady does really well. But the secondary for the Steelers really couldn't keep up with Tom Brady. He's not like keeping up with like the receivers, because I mean like Chris Hogan, sure, 180 yards, super impressive, but like where was he beforehand? Like this season, it's not like he's a top receiver. Like what's happened to he was at Buffalo, wasn't he? And
yeah, he was like he played 1 year of college football. Before that, he was a lacrosse player. Goes undrafted, bounces around a couple teams, and then ends up in New England and becomes a star in the playoffs, which is pretty much every New England player ever.
Yeah, literally Tom Brady hit 9 different receivers on the day. And when you can do that, and you can show teams that you are going to hit all these different receivers, you can't not cover all of them. He'll be like, all right, fine. If you leave this person open, I'll throw it to them.
Yeah, that was really. I mean, in terms of the bigger picture, I actually think this achievement by the Patriots to reach the Super Bowl is going to go down as one of their greatest achievements in the Brady Belichick era.
With the first week, I mean the first 4 weeks without Tom Brady.
Without Tom Brady, no first round draft pick, Gronk out for most of the season. Like all of these
I
things.
don't know what this means that it says about Gronk, because like it's kind of like they don't really need him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the reason why they signed Martellus Bennett and gave up so much, like gave up their best pass rusher, and like so many picks to get Bennett, because they knew that like they can't rely on Gronk being fit for the whole season. He's always going to miss some part of the season. And I think it well, but and again, they barely used Bennett as well. Like he only had like 5 or 6 catches, I think.
Yeah, 5 catches. Yeah.
So
it's weird because everyone talks about Gronk being like the most dominant tight end in NFL history, which like he probably is. But his team doesn't need him.
Yeah, I think also this season we've played, apart from maybe Seattle, we haven't actually played against a number of like top quality defenses. We had like, okay, fair play. Like I just said that this is a great achievement. Like to be fair, we had a fairly easy schedule this season, compared to other teams. But still, like there's no easy game in the NFL. And I think we didn't play some like highly top secondaries, so I think not having Gronk wasn't that much of a big deal. But I think maybe if we played some other teams, it would have been more of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm flicking through my mind, and I was like, even you guys played the Texans twice in this year. The Texans have like undoubtedly one of the best defenses, and the first one when they didn't, you got 27 points and nothing.
Yeah.
Like you can guys still play against that. The Patriots can play like against anyone, but like when you don't have a decent secondary, it's just like it's a tough game for the opponent, because Tom Brady will just go through.
Yeah, and if you don't get pressure on Brady, if you don't hit him fast enough, then even if you have a good secondary, he's still gonna hit you down, because the way he reads the field is so quickly, and he just gets the ball out so quickly. You're like, oh crap, shit, 20-yard pass. But yeah, I mean it's fair play to Brady as well. I mean he's 39 and he's still playing at such a high level.
And it looks like he'll be playing like that for like in a few more years, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's, as a Patriots fan, I'm quite. I'll take that.
I think it's gonna be really interesting whenever, like, people have been talking about this for a while now. Whenever Brady retires, or whenever Belichick retires, because I think it's kind of like that kind of a tandem, because it'll be really interesting to see what happens with one of them without the other one.
Yeah, I think.
I'm not sure. I think if they both retire in the same season, that would be hilarious.
Yeah,
because it would literally be like they don't want to taint their name. Well, whoever retires first is basically saying to the other person, like, look, come on, like, it's been a while, like, come just hang your whatever boots up with me, and then we'll
hang your hoodie up, Belichick.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Belichick would be fine without Brady. Like, as a coach, I think he still would have been a top quality coach.
I mean, obviously, he would be a good coach. I mean, obviously the team's not going to be exactly the same. They're still going to coach up the receivers and their offensive line and everyone to the extent that they have been. But
it makes your job a hell of a lot easier if you've got a quarterback.
If you've got Tom Brady, yeah. And I think, and players go to the Patriots like knowing they're going to play with Tom Brady and being like, well, I better step my game up, and like you probably assume that he just lifts everyone else's game up. But,
yeah, like, and also like that mentality that Belichick's built into that locker room. Yeah, okay, it's produced like the most boring players in the world who never say anything, but that winning mentality is so strong there. Like two things. Like apparently, after the game, when they just won the AFC Championship game, they're going to the Super Bowl. Apparently, the locker room was just like really subdued. Everyone was just really focused.
It was just whenever you saw Belichick being handed the AFC Championship trophy, it was like, here you go, and he was like, this means nothing.
Yeah,
it literally does though. Like no one cares. No one's going to be like, oh yeah, how many AFC Championships did you win?
7.
Like, yeah, but that's not a thing. No one, no one's gonna be like. But if you won like 7 of them, then if you did what Buffalo did in the 90s and like lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
But no one remembers that.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone loves to be like, because you lost the Super Bowl. You didn't win the AFC Championship 4 years in a row. You lost the Super Bowl 4 years in a row.
Yeah, I mean, as a Panthers fan, you haven't celebrated the fact that you won the NFC Championship last year. You just remember the fact that sorry to bring it up, you lost the Super Bowl. Like, and it's to say, like, in the 2 years we lost the Super Bowl to the Giants, like, a lot of people don't remember the fact that, okay, yeah, in 2007 we had one of the best offenses of all time.
Hmm.
That's been pushed aside so much in history just because we lost the Super Bowl that year. Like that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
like you have like, I mean, obviously, yeah, we had Cam going MVP and like we were going to the Super Bowl, and it was like we were I think we weren't heavily, we were favored in the Super Bowl as well.
yeah,
But no one's gonna look at Cam and then be like, oh look, he got an championship title. That's pretty good.
yeah,
I mean, sometimes you know how you see like the training feels like on Hard Knocks, like in the stadium, in like the trading pitch, they have like divisional championship winner, like whatever year it is, and
yeah,
they might have the conference championship winner thing, but that
yeah,
if they don't have the Super Bowl champions banner, it's just like a reminder to the players that look, that
yeah,
wasn't, you didn't go the whole way.
yeah. That's very true. I mean, do you think just one more point on Brady? Do you think if he goes on and wins in 12 days in Houston, do you think one, do you think he'll go down as the greatest of all time, and two, do you think it will get rid of the Deflategate taint?
I don't think I don't think anyone's gonna ever get rid of the like cheating Patriots kind of
Yeah,
thing. There's always gonna be that shrouded in because teams bring it up, and I mean some of the stuff like Spygate, like
yeah.
really.
But
Um,
that was less Brady. That was more the entire coach. That was more the
yeah,
coaching
but it's
staff.
just like the whole thing, how it's kind of
Yeah,
like on, and like it's how like Brady and Belichick kind of come as a duo kind of thing.
yeah,
And like and how that's all happened. I think that's always going to be difficult to say. I mean, like for me, I do think that I do think that Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. And like if he wins next week, it's definitely going to cement that. It's going to be like, well, no one else has 5 Super Bowls.
yeah.
No
And
one
no one
else.
else has done it at 39.
Yeah,
Apart from
no one else.
But Payton doesn't count.
And it's just, but like I mean, no one else has done it with such little. Like in it's like this. Like if they win this one, and then the one 2 years ago against Seattle.
Yeah,
I
but I
mean,
mean, the,
listing the like the offense and the defense for the Patriots. I mean,
I mean
Gronk,
that.
sure. Apart from that, I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean that win against Seattle in that team, that team was like littered with talent. Like we had Darrell Revis, Carl Arrington, Brandon Brown, and like all these
Mm.
defensive stars. And apparently, like, I saw an interesting stat that was the Patriots team this year has the least amount of Pro Bowlers and All Pro players out of all the teams that have gone to the Super Bowl.
Wow, it's just because like none of the and even the players who have gone to the Pro Bowl, I'm pretty sure. Um, Butler was like sent to the Pro Bowl, but no one like he's only there because he picked off an interception in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, he went he was in the All Pro team as well.
Oh no,
Second,
he's and like he's a good player, but
yeah,
like people only put them there because they've heard of the name on like a big
yeah,
stage, and they're like, oh yeah, I guess so.
yeah, it's true. I mean,
No, but yeah, for me though, for Brady, like this would put him above. Obviously, it's 5 rings, and no one else has done that, and no one else can say like created the dynasty that the Patriots have, because like imagine like how many times the AFC Championship is like has Brady in it. Like he's
yeah,
always fighting towards the end. They always get number one, number two seed. Like that's just not. It's not even like it's just guaranteed that they win their division.
yeah. It's become like a normality. It's weird.
I think that was at the start of the year. I think I asked you like what team would you be most what do you think, what team is guaranteed to win their division, like would be guaranteed to win the division, and I'm pretty sure we both had the Panthers at the start of the year because
Yeah,
obviously legit and we're amazing, but like it's just, and with the whole thing with Brady not with the Patriots not having Brady for 4 games.
mm,
But it's just stupid not to pick the Patriots, like
yeah,
because like sure the Jets had a good season last year, but this season, wow,
yeah,
different. I mean, maybe that will happen to the Dolphins. I really hope it doesn't because I quite like the Dolphins, but the Bills are just terrible.
yeah.
But like the Patriots just always win there. And they're always representing the AFC as well.
Yeah,
I can't. I would say that I'm not. I mean, I would either say Brady. I mean, I would really like to see Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think he can get that kind of.
like, he's got a lot of ground to catch up now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, he needs to win another Super Bowl at least.
Yeah,
And then even with that, it's like Brady's won double what you have and more.
Yeah. I mean, even Peyton Manning with his 5 MVPs, he's still I'd still put him quite far behind Brady.
I would,
Just
yeah,
because,
I'd 100% rather have Super Bowls than MVP.
yeah,
I mean, you're the best player in the year for sure. I'm sure Cam Newton would 100% trade his MVP for a Super Bowl,
yeah,
but
hundred
you
percent.
definitely can't do that. I think like Matt Ryan, he could get the MVP. I don't think he's gonna get the Super Bowl. Maybe, but
Yeah.
we can see. I don't know.
W-
When does all that get announced? All the MVP stuff. I don't know.
It's the night before the Super Bowl in the
Oh, is
NFL
it?
orders.
Damn. Okay.
Um, I think MVP will most likely be Matt Ryan.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not sure about all the other ones, but
I mean,
yeah,
I think offensive rookie. I mean, rookie of the year. Oh, surely Zeke. I mean, I'm not.
yeah. And then probably offensive rookie will probably go to Dak Prescott then.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. And then Joey Bosa might have the defensive one pretty wrapped up, but
I think maybe I don't know. Wait, no. Actually, it's all based on. I'd say if you include the postseason, I would have maybe said Keanu Neal.
oh yeah, he would be the other person, the Falcons safety. Yeah, he would be the other person who'd do it, but I don't know. I think with Joey Bosa, he even like held out at the start of the season for like 5 games for his contract. Like that's crazy.
LA have got they've got a star coming there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, I keep their LA now. Wow. That's weird.
Aaron Donald thought he was the best defensive end in LA.
Oh, maybe he's a tackle kind of.
Yeah, true. Okay. Yeah, yeah. He comes around the center, mate. I'd say Joey Bosa's more of a edge rusher.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think so. Right, I think we're getting on a bit now, and I think we've ended up talking about the games. Like, I think this is it for us guys this week. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about,
No, I'm gonna save it all for next week.
All right, okay. Obviously, next week we're gonna have our predictions for the Super Bowl, and then we're gonna talk about the Pro Bowl and how much.
It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite interested to see the skills thing because at least that's happening this year.
Yeah.
But it means nothing. Like no one cares. Like the players are like, okay, you get voted to Pro Bowl. That's pretty good. That's a good way of distinguishing like players like above the other ones for sure. But like no one really cares who wins the Pro Bowl. No one's like, yeah, I won the Pro Bowl with the AFC in 2016. Love it.
Maybe it's like good for like guys like Joe Thomas who just they're never going to go to the Super Bowl if they're playing for the Browns, and
True.
he gets his
True.
Pro Bowl trip once a year.
and then Alex Mack Alex Mack with the Browns just doesn't sign with them. Goes to the Falcons, and now he's in the Super Bowl. Like Joe Thomas must be sitting there like, what am I doing?
He wants the Patriots to win the Super Bowl.
Who?
Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas. Yeah, he probably just doesn't want. He really doesn't want Alex Mack to go there and win. And like just one season leaving Cleveland and then going to win. But, oh. Anyway, guys, I think that is it for this week. We'll catch you guys next week with our preview of who's going to win. You might already know what Will's going to say, but I might say someone else. I might not pick the Patriots. I mean, I don't really want to pick the Falcons as a Panthers fan, but I might have to. Anyway, guys, until next week, have a good one.